everybody? Let's go Niners. My name is Jason Aponte. What's up, everybody? Week 1 is here. Thank God. It's been a long road, a long journey, but we're not going to be talking 49ers as much. We'll probably be talking a lot of fantasy football. So if you guys have any questions, please send them in, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. Obviously, the big news is Trey Sermon is a healthy scratch today, no injury. So that means Raheem Mostert, who was already in a big spot, is an absolute smash play in DFS. Any sort of fantasy lineup that you have him, you have to have him in the lineup. As of right now, it will be Raheem Mostert, Elijah Mitchell, and Jermichael Hasty. So you want to make sure that you have Raheem Mostert in here. The Lions defense is porous. Last year, second in the league, in second highest points allowed to the running back position. God, off to a great start. Also, the other big news is that Zach Moss is out. So if you guys took a swing on Devin Singletary, the opportunity is going to be there. Now, it's not an advantageous matchup, and I would suspect that Josh Allen is still going to be that guy at the goal line. I thought that Zach Moss would take that over, but he's a healthy scratch as well. But Devin Singletary in the flex position, if you're looking for a play, it's not the worst thing. You could do much worse than Devin Singletary. So any other questions that you guys have in terms of, anybody that you're in between, anything like that, please send them in, and we'll get rolling with that. So I guess we could just talk about the 49ers while we wait for people to trickle in with their own questions as well, too. So what's up, everybody in the chat? Don Burr. We're just talking fantasy football this time, bro. That's it. Like nothing else about the game or anything like that. We'll leave that to when the game's over. But as far as the 49ers go, I would expect that Deebo Samuel gets a bump here in this game, especially when the way that they use him in the run game. Without Sermon, now you could see him getting a lot more of those touch passes or those tunnel screens. So if I was going to pick between, even though I'm wearing his jersey, if I'm picking between Deebo and Ayuk, probably Deebo today. I think that he's going to get a ton of receptions. So, Zach, what's up, bro? Should I start Corey Davis or Juju or Josh Jacobs? I'd probably stick with Josh Jacobs, depending on what you need. If it's a PPR league, Josh Jacobs has a safe floor, but Corey Davis is the only show in town right now with Jamison Crowder out and Denzel Mims down on the depth chart. So, I mean, it depends. If it's a PPR league, then I might lean Corey Davis, but Josh Jacobs is as safe as it gets. I don't want to play Juju against the Bills this week, so. Interrupts. Gesicki or Cook, who should I start week 1? Gesicki plays New England, and Cook has Washington football team. Based on that, I would probably say Gesicki, just based on the little bit of rapport that we saw between him and Tua. So I would go Gesicki there. Josh Jacobs or Myles Gaskin. That's a good one, honestly. I think, man, give me a minute to actually think about that one, and I'll get back to you. I promise. LaVisca or Devontae, I'm leaving. Come on. What are we doing here? You know what it is. What up, Jason? Stuck on who to put at my flex. Debo, Mike Davis, or David Montgomery. This is a good one. 1.5 point PPR. So the thing about Mike Davis is I don't know if he's going to get all those receptions that he got in Carolina. So that's why I was a little skeptical in drafting him. David Montgomery is the only show in town, with Chicago, but they're playing the Rams. So I think that's a little bit hesitant. And then, I was just literally telling you that I think that Debo is going to get a bunch of targets. I think he's going to be big in this game, especially if those rushing attempts actually count as receptions. So I would be stuck between Debo and Montgomery. I'd probably go with Debo just because I think I know what the 49ers are going to do here. They're going to use him a lot more in the run game than we thought, especially with Sermon out. So thoughts on Marquez, Callaway, or Mike Williams? You know what sucks is that Marquez Callaway is the only guy right now, right? Traquan Smith's out. So is Michael Thomas. The problem is Jair Alexander. And can you put him out there with that? The same thing with Mike Williams. Mike Williams is going to play that X slot role in that Sean Payton offense that they brought over there. So, I mean, Marquez Callaway, because of the target share, I would say, but I don't feel great about it only because Jair Alexander is a dog, man. Carson or Hunt, Rager or Robinson. I assume you mean James Robinson, if that's true. But I would go Carson, and if it's James Robinson, then it's James Robinson over Rager for sure. Moss is out. Singletary over Hunt. Here's the thing, though. Singletary is going to get a lot of the share, and Matt Breida will be there to fill in here and there. But Allen Robinson. Okay. Oh yeah, Allen Robinson over Jalen Reagor. Absolutely, no questions asked. Even with Ramsey hanging out over there. So with Moss out, Singletary over Hunt. I have a feeling that Cleveland Chiefs game is going to be a bit of a shootout, and we all know that that's how they use Hunt in PPR. So I kind of lean Hunt, but the thing is that this is the reason. Singletary is not going to get those goal line touches. I think that they're just going to run the ball with Josh Allen, and I just have a bad feeling about this front, and I think that with Moss out, they're just going to pass the ball a ton. So I mean, I would play him if I was desperate, but if you asked me about those two, I would probably say Hunt at this point right now. Debo or Raheem, this is easy. We're going Raheem. Raheem is only going to need maybe 13 to 15 touches to bring you back value. And now with Sermon out, I think it's a smash play, and it's a very safe play actually as well too. So, any other questions, guys? The Zach Moss thing kind of caught me off a little bit. That's crazy. Shawn, what's up? Mahalo. Paul, Michael Pittman Jr. or DeAndre Swift for my flex spot. No PPR. Ooh. If this is standard, then I'm going Pittman. Pittman's going to have he's going to be licking his chops at those cornerbacks that Seattle has. It's really nobody over there at this point. And T.Y. Hilton's on IR. Paris Campbell, we don't know what to get out of him, so I would lean Pittman here, especially if you're looking for that touchdown. I think you get it from Pittman. Sorry if you hear that in the background, guys. Lost Gus and now Sermon out. Hines or White for RB2 desperate play. I would go James White, actually, because I think that with Mac Jones, that lends itself to that a little bit more. So I would go James White. Julio, Ayuk, or CEH, two of those three. I'm going Julio and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That's pretty simple. Nothing against Ayuk. I just don't think that they're going to need to use him too much. And this game might be out of hand pretty quickly, even if I think that the game's going to be closer than people think. But there's a strong possibility this game gets away from them. Those other two are going to be competitive games. So Trevor Lawrence or Matt Ryan. This is a good one. Trevor Lawrence against Houston, Matt Ryan against Philly. I think that Philly-Atlanta game is going to be a shootout. So I think it's kind of sneaky. I'm going to go Matt Ryan here, Leo. And I'm going to take that plunge with you because I'm playing him in a few leagues. So just, putting my money where my mouth is, bro. All right. Standard. Swift or Judy at the flex. See, this one's tough because I don't really think DeAndre Swift's going to have too much room to work with. I think this defense is too good for the 49ers. And then Jerry Jeudy needs to score. But the one thing that the Giants do have is a very good secondary. James Bradbury, Logan Ryan, those guys. So, and Teddy Bridgewater's the quarterback. If it was PPR, I'd be leaning Jeudy. Man, this is tough. I really don't like either of the options. I would probably just go DeAndre Swift just to be safe. That he's going to get something at least. That's a tough one. Adam Schefter tripping for bringing up this Mac Jones stuff again. Yeah, whatever. It's over. Season started. That's it. Mac Jones isn't on the 49ers, and we're going to find out a lot more about the situation as more information trickles out from people who aren't peddling it for content. So there's going to be a book that's going to be written by one of these guys, and they're going to detail it in depth, and we're going to laugh about all these reports, So Ayuk or Singletary at the flex, non-PPR. Man, all these standard leagues. I think I got to lean Singletary here. He probably has a better chance at scoring a touchdown, even if I'm afraid that Josh Allen's going to be the guy who takes that. But I would probably start Singletary here just because he's going to get a lot of receptions. I think even if that's non-PPR, it's just going to be yards and yards. Herbert over against Washington or Mahomes against Cleveland. I think you just do what you know, Patty. I think that Cleveland's got a good defense, but you're not going to be able to contain Mahomes all game. They'll do it. The question is from Coach Demo or dontae as CB2. Is D'Amico in charge of personnel decisions? Because if he is, I'm pretty sure he would say Demo. But if he's not and Kyle is, you know what time it is then. It's Dontae season, bro. Dontae season's back. Claypool or Pittman PPR. This one's good. I like this one a lot. I think I'm going to go Claypool here. Just because they manufacture those touches for him, and we don't really know what Pittman's going to do with Carson Wentz. So you want to always go for that upside, and we're going to find out today a lot about Pittsburgh's offense. Are they doing the same things that they were doing last year where they couldn't run the ball at all, or are they going to be as pass and they're going to be as pass heavy? But they know how to get Claypool involved. They hand him off the ball. They throw the ball to him at the red zone. So yeah, I would say Claypool. The one that I would be hesitant to start out of the three between Johnson, Claypool, and Juju is Juju. I don't want to play Juju in this game at all if I can help it, right? But Dontae and Claypool seem pretty good. No problem, bro. Just, don't yell at me if things go wrong or anything like that. Thoughts on Tyson Williams for the Ravens? Yeah, I'm starting him. It seems like the beat writers are reporting that he has every opportunity to win it. He was the one that everybody was talking about out of camp. And, I understand it took 3 guys for them to go down before he can go up. But, I mean, you have to look at right now for this week against the Raiders. Latavius Murray's not up to speed. Le'Veon Bell and Devontae Freeman won't be up for this game. So it'll literally be Tyson Williams and Trenton Cannon. So if you're looking for a play this week on a Monday night, I would play Tyson. It just depends on your options, I would say. Let's see. Liverpool, Niners, what a beautiful day. There you go. Debo or Ayuk for week 1. Depends on your score settings. If it's PPR, then I would say Debo this week, just because I think that they're going to try to get him involved, especially with Sermon out. So thanks, bro. Last one. Swift or Gaskin PPR? Gaskin. He's safer. He's just safer. I think that if he gets that role that he got last year, too many passes and too many screens that they set up for him. Swift has just a hard matchup, and who knows what this offense is going to look like. So I trust what I knew from last year. I would go Gaskin here, and I would feel pretty good about it as well, too. Nick, appreciate you, bro. You're the man. Any other questions, guys? Because I was waiting for the practice reports to come out. I mean, the injury report to come out to make sure we knew who was playing, who wasn't. So if you guys don't have any other questions, I'll stick around for maybe 15, 20 more minutes or something like that. And Zach, you're the man, bro. We'll talk soon, bro. You know what it is. It's football season. We back. But yeah, I think the Trey Sermon thing is is not upsetting, but the way that they were making it seem and the way that they were rotating them both in camp, that it was going to be like a 1A, 1B situation. So for him to be a healthy scratch, I don't know about that. That's weird, man. Arian, Hawkinson or Waddle PPR? Thank you. Probably Hawkinson, because he's the safest one out of Detroit's pass catchers. Even if Fred's going to be all over him, I think that it's going to be him where he'll at least get more than Tyrell Williams or Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's just my opinion. Jason, what's up, bro? Claypool or Beasley PPR? I'd probably go with the higher upside, which is Claypool, and I think that game is going to be back and forth a little bit. So yeah, I would say Claypool in this one. Ayuk or Judy on standards? I got so many tough decisions. Yeah, man. What's up with these standard leagues, guys? We got to get into more PPR leagues. So that means you need a touchdown. Of the two, who's probably more likely to score it? I would say Ayuk, so I would lean Ayuk in this one. Even if I don't think that they're going to need to use him too much, and I don't think they're going to kind of shy away from that. So I don't play fantasy, but I'm just here to say go Niners. Yeah, go Niners. That's fine. We're good with that. Is Dontae Johnson starting? Is that what we just found out? I think it is. All right. I could stick around maybe for maybe 5-10 more minutes. Let's see. Percam Inman, Trey Sermon inactive is a coach decision. Gonna have to earn his way back up the depth chart. Oof, man. I don't know. All right. Steven, hey, thanks for the help. Hopefully a fun one for you here. Pick 2, full point PPR. Josh Jacobs, Darrell Henderson, Saquon Barkley, Tyson Williams. Well, you're playing Saquon no matter what, even if he's not getting that. So that's one. Of these 3, goodness gracious, full point PPR. The Bears have a great defense. The Ravens, not so much. I'd go Saquon and Josh Jacobs to be safe this time. But Tyson could be somebody that, you're happy that you hold on to. And if he plays well this week, then you might have yourself an every week flex. So have PPR, Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield. Ooh. So Baker Mayfield's in a shootout, I think, with the Chiefs. And Sam Darnold has a revenge game against the Jets. So I love revenge game narratives, but I'll probably go with Baker. He's a little bit more safe. And I think that he's going to have a good game today. Niners Worldwide, Claypool, Chase, or Marshall Jr. for the flex. I say Claypool. Claypool's always your high upside play, and he can return value for you with one long catch or maybe a touchdown. So thanks. Let's see. Thoughts on Joe Staley pointing out that his 2 worst years started out with emphatic wins, trouble for the 49ers. Yeah, that's weird. But, it's true, right? Because they did win both those games, on Monday Night Football, on Sunday Night Football, or something like that. Or the first one with Chip Kelly was. I don't really look at too much into that. I wouldn't say that because in 2019 they won with Kyle Shanahan and they they made the Super Bowl. So Chase Edmonds or Mostert PPR. Ooh, Lord, because Chase Edmonds is the pass catcher. Arizona, I'm gonna go Mostert here. Let's stick to the homer stuff. I'm gonna go Mostert here. I like his opportunity, especially now with Sermon not playing. And Rico, apparently it's coach's decision. So it's he might be in Shanny's doghouse for a little bit. I don't know what happened necessarily. I didn't really see anything that I could point to, like missing a block or maybe running into the back of one of his guys or something like that. I don't know. I guess we'll leave it to coach. He's going to have to talk about it at the end of the game. So we'll see. Any other questions, guys? Appreciate you guys tapping in with me. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'll probably do this every week right before the game start just to help you out with some tough calls. Greg, Gaskin or Pittman, PPR, I would go Gaskin here just because I know what his role is, and we got to see kind of what's going on with Pittman. Even if T.Y. is out and Paris Campbell is a bit of an unknown. So I would go Gaskin just because I know how they manufacture his touches with the screen passes and seems to have the coach's trust. I would go Gaskin this week. One thing I wanted to say, too, about week 1 of fantasy football is not to overreact. If one player doesn't, return what you think, this isn't like, oh, the season's over or anything like that. There's plenty of guys who pop in week 1, don't do anything the rest of the year. There's plenty of guys who don't do anything week 1 and end up being the guys. So just, remember, week 1 is unpredictable. This is the most fun week and wild week for you to get with your choices. You don't necessarily need a win in week 1, but, you really just want to see what you have in your roster. Week 1 should really be about evaluating snap counts, target distribution, how the offense looks, so you can make better decisions down the line. Because this one, we're just going off what we saw in preseason. So how are you watching the game today? I'm in Arizona, and I don't know if I could watch it. I have a login for a Sunday ticket that somebody gave me. I'm a moocher. But I'll send him like $15 if you wanted. So yeah. You won the $5 bet, Dontae Johnson with the start. I don't know why people be, again, it's not about what I do. Nobody cares what I would do. It's just I know what the coach would do. So I mean, just they love Dontae Johnson. They didn't bring him up to the practice squad to have him sit. Like they don't need depth like that. And for them to sign Norman to the 53 and then have him inactive, like that was just the icing on top. So Rico, thank you, Jason. Go Niners. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the donation. That's love, man. Really appreciate that. Robert Woods or Cooper Kupp. Depends on the format. I would go Robert Woods. But if it's PPR, it's Woods. And then I think standard, I would say Kupp because I think he has a better chance of scoring a touchdown. But I think that Robert Woods is going to get all those targets. So, yeah, that's a good one, though. I usually don't like having two guys from the same team. And as I say that, I'll go through my dynasty rosters and literally have Debo and Ayuk. So don't, what the hell do I know? But I usually don't like choosing between those two because one is going to cannibalize the other. I try to stay diverse when I'm putting my shares out there. Of course, things happen, right? Like you could be someone who has Claypool and Deontay Johnson on your team, and I wouldn't be upset with that. It's just I try to stay away from it just, because I feel like if one is going to eat, then the other might not eat, and you have that decision to make about like if one goes in the toilet, then both go in the toilet. If you're playing both of them, that type of stuff I try to stay away from. But hey, it's these are two good options right here. So. I guess that's it, guys. I mean, unless there's no more questions or anything like that, this is a nice solid 20-minute stream. But next week I'll be doing the same thing again. Probably do something right before the Thursday game to to get some of those starts to questions and everything as well too. Just trying to add content to the channel. I play enough fantasy football to to want to do this anyway. So let's see. Any word on Sermon? Yeah, just a healthy scratch. Apparently Kyle's not happy with what he's been seeing from him. I mean, he'll explain later after the game, I believe. Start Juju with Big Ben back. Do you have any other options? Like I just, again, of those three, that's the one that I don't want to play. Johnson, Claypool, and Juju. I just don't want to play Juju. But do you have any other options? Maybe. I mean, if you have none, that's not the worst option. I'm just trying to stay away from him because I feel like it's just not there for him right now in this game, especially. We'll give it like maybe 5 more minutes to see who else pops in, see if anybody else has any questions, anything like that. I'm super excited, guys. This is it. This is what a day. Finally, after all the speculation and everything as well, too. Yes, appreciate that. Niners Worldwide. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. That'll help. Any tight end sleeper that I like. This is a good one. With Evan Ingram out, Kyle Rudolph is a play today. If you're stuck, I wouldn't be scared to go to Kyle Rudolph. There's nobody really in his way at this point. I understand that there's a lot of target volume to go around. You talk about Galladay, Shepard, and Barkley, but if you're stuck, I think Kyle Rudolph this week is a guy that you can play, especially with Evan Ingram out. So, Ravens running back or Bills running back. So that's Singletary or Tyson Williams, and I'm going to play Tyson Williams. I'm going to take a shot there. It's just, again, I like Singletary's, opportunity, but I still think that Josh Allen's going to take those goal line reps from him, and I don't see a lot of rushing attempts in his future. So maybe we'll have a bunch of catches, but you always want that Ravens running back. So Tyson's going to be in that exotic run game that we all know from Greg Roman, and it's the Raiders, so it's a good chance that Tyson has a chance to put a stranglehold in his job if he really plays well in week 1. So, John V, what's up, buddy? Amin, what's up, bro? Tyson Williams or Melvin Gordon? I would start Tyson. Just Melvin Gordon, that's too shaky. I don't know what's going on with him and Javonte. Javonte could win this job today if he balls out, and, who knows with Melvin Gordon. So, all right, Fant or Hawkinson. I'm going to go Hawk. Even if it's against the Niners, I'm going to go Hawk just because with them, we got to figure out what's going on with the Broncos passing game. Cortland Sutton's back. Judy's there. That leaves Fant as third. I feel like Hawkinson's the number 1 option for the Lions, so he'll have plenty of targets to do something with. Everwood Russell could be a sleeper. Yeah, he could. It's just I feel like I've heard that so much with the Rams because he got away from Higbee. But, we'll see. Hunt or Juju flex PPR, I'm going Hunt. Remember, Kareem Hunt, revenge game against the Chiefs. Always bet on revenge games when it comes down to that. So, Higgins versus Ayuk for flex. Hey, listen, I'm wearing this jersey, but you got to start T. Higgins this week. 24 touchdowns allowed by the Minnesota Vikings secondary last year. I think that was second most in the league. They are in a bad way. Patrick Peterson is just a shell of himself. T. Higgins should have himself a day. If you're playing daily fantasy and you're looking on DraftKings, you got to have T. Higgins in your lineup. And if you have him in your roster in a seasonal league, you got to start him this week. This is the week to start him. Debo or Marquise Brown. If this is PPR, then I'm starting Debo. He's just going to get the ball. You know that they're going to give him targets. He can have 5 and still get you 75 and a touch, and that's great value right there. Saquon a good play today? Yep. If Saquon's playing, I'm playing him, and he is active. So I'm playing him anywhere that I have him. Jason Garrett's offense is going to be very much centered about run the ball and make sure that you establish the run. So that's good for Barkley, even if I disagree with the whole archaic way that he does his offense. So I have Sermon now that he's out. Have PPR flex, Gabriel Davis, Jonnu Smith, or Mike Gesicki. Of those 3, I'd probably go Gesicki. Just because I know that Tua has eyes for him. So with Jonnu, we got to figure out what's going on with him and Hunter Henry and how much he's going to be used just in the blocking game to maybe shore up what they got with Damian Harris. Gabriel Davis, that's tough because it feels like Emmanuel Sanders has kind of jumped him, and then Cole Beasley and Diggs are there. So I would say Gesicki here. Claypool, Hollywood Brown, or Bryan Edwards, wide receiver 3 standard. Claypool. That one's pretty easy. I would smash that. Luke, appreciate you, man. If you guys are looking to get something like this made, Inspector Dabbit, shout out to him on Twitter. Go follow him. He makes all this custom stuff. He made me this sweet Ayuk sweater, man, and it's great quality. Washed it. Looks great. Looks the same as when I got it. So, all right. John or Gesicki, I'm going Gesicki here with this one as well too. I kind of like Gesicki's chance here in this New England game. I think that they're not going to be able to just wipe him away, and he's not the number 1 option. They've got guys who can stretch the field, and they've got guys that they're going to have to concentrate on. So I like it, and that Miami New England game is going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a lot way more fun than people think. So, you know what? I'll go a half hour. I'll go like 6 more minutes, and then I'll end it at 12:30 so everybody can get ready, get your wings, get your refreshments, and get ready because, being on the East Coast, the 49ers playing at 1 is awesome. You guys in Cali having 10 a.m. football, I can't imagine. It's not fair. It's really not fair, and I wish that's kind of what would happen with me as well too. All right. Debo or Hardman in the flex. I obviously want to play Debo. I will play Debo. Hardman, it's a great idea. And a lot of people are chasing the Chiefs wide receiver 2. They think that that's valuable, but there's never really been a wide receiver 2. Their wide receiver 1 and 2 is Kelsey and Hill. And then after that, you get lucky when you play like a guy like Demarcus Robinson or at a time Chris Conley or now Hardman, So I would try to stick with Debo. I think that he's gonna actually have a good game today, especially with Sermon out. What? All right. Yeah, it ain't lunch yet, but I'm drinking at 10. I hear you, Creed. I like that. Yeah, man. How good is this, 49ers fans? How good does this feel? I think after the trade up, the hunger for the season just grew and grew, and it's like now we made it, man. I can't believe it that we made it. Kyle Shanahan didn't know if we were going to be alive, and here we are. We're alive. So Philip Lindsay or Singletary had to make team from waivers. I would go Singletary here, just he has the opportunity. I don't know what's going on in that backfield. Philip Lindsay could come out one drive, then it'll be Ingram, then it'll be David Johnson. So Singletary has very little in his way. If you had to pick from those two, I would definitely pick Singletary at this point, especially with Zach Moss out. Yeah, Zach Moss being out, man. I really thought that he was going to be the one who would ascend eventually and take this role, but I guess I'm not seeing. I guess they're seeing something I'm not seeing, or they know better than I do. So that's tough. That's really tough. No problem, Matt. Appreciate you guys for joining in here too. What about Tyrell Williams or Darnell Mooney? This is a good one. I would say probably Mooney, just because I don't know what's going to happen with Tyrell Williams, and maybe Jalen Ramsey follows Allen Robinson around. And man, this is hard. This one's tough. They're both in bad. I like Mooney a lot, and I think that he's going to be great this year. I just think he's going to be great when Justin Fields takes over. As long as Dalton's there, it's going to be fine production, but not what I think it can be going down the line. But I'll go with Mooney here. Swift to Corey Davis and flex PPR. Corey Davis week. I would play him because Keelan Cole and Jamison Crowder out. So it's basically him. Elijah Moore's never played a snap, and Zach Wilson was just force feeding him every time that he could down the line. So thoughts on Nico Collins? Great stash. I love Nico Collins. I think that he's going to be the guy eventually. I would put him at the end of my bench because if he goes off this week, then you're going to have to run the waivers to go get him. So I have him like stashed at bigger benches, longer benches. I have him at the bottom there, and I have him. I'm waiting for him. So Kendrick Bourne or Allen Robinson playing against Jalen Ramsey. I would still stick Robinson. Here's my philosophy on this sort of thing. I understand the fear of Jalen Ramsey, and that makes sense. But what can you live with? Can you live with Kendrick Bourne going off on your bench for like 17, 20 points, or can you live with Allen Robinson going off for like 2 touch? Like I would be sick if I looked at Allen Robinson, who I drafted in a certain round, on my bench with a crazy game because I got too cute in week 1. So I wouldn't be able to bench Robinson, not for Kendrick Bourne at least. Bro, let me know starting. I mean, that's not a bad way to look at it for Tyrell Williams, but yeah, Dontae Johnson is starting. I hope you guys listened to Sprint Right Option because that was the call that I made the other day. I knew for a fact it was going to be him. Like it has to be him. In a deep league, Herd Moss is out. Have PPR pick one: Diami, Galladay, or Tevin. I would probably go Galladay, but Diami has a big shot, to right here to do some things. So I would go Galladay, even if we don't know how that's gonna, work out. Again, I would just play it a little bit safe. So Jason, I had a trade offer this morning. I have DJ Moore, and the trade was for Debo. Thoughts? Well, what was the exact trade, John? I don't know if I'm ready to trade Debo right away. I just got to know what you're getting back. And I love DJ Moore. So I wouldn't trade him yet. I mean, especially with no games left. So Ayuk is taking punts. Wow, did they announce that? Oh, wow. You wouldn't start Lenior over Dontae? I would, but I'm not the coach. So it doesn't really matter. It's not about that. It's, again, I take my feelings out of it. Again, this was my logic. When Emmanuel Mosley wasn't there at camp, when we were there, Jason Verrett and Dontae Johnson were the 2 corners. And that goes to show how much they trust him. So it's just is what it is. He's one of Shanny's guys. It's the same thing with Tom Compton. Somebody gets hurt on the offensive line, here comes Tom Compton. That's not what I would do, but that's what will be done. So that's really what it's about. One more minute, guys. Let's see. Collins over Gallman for the stash play. Yes, Nico over Gallman. Apparently, Gallman was a healthy scratch today. So that's tough because they don't really have too many other guys for running back. Hopefully, he got better. Well, I think that it's a little bit overblown what happens to him sometimes. I think that, that one Eagles game was bad, but I mean, it was that one play, but it wasn't really bad. He was in the right spot. Good throw towards groin. But, I honestly, if there was a week for Dontae Johnson to succeed, it would be against this receiver core. So we'll see. Hollywood or Boyd? I'm going Boyd here. Tyler Boyd is being slept on so hard. He's going to be in the slot in this game. And yeah, I like Boyd a lot. Dontae knows the defense in and out. That's why. That's true. That's what I'm saying. Like when Shanahan trusts you, that's it. You get the long rope, you know. And if you make a mistake, cool, you can come right back. That's fine. But if you're in the doghouse and you make a mistake, that's when you start to see things like what happened with Akilla Weatherspoon and Dontae Pettis. So, all right, guys, 30 minutes. I appreciate you guys for tapping in. We'll talk to you guys before. Let's see. Do you think Debo will have a better fantasy season than Ayuk? I think Debo is going to have more receptions than Ayuk. So do with that information what you will. And that's just me assuming that they'll be under 17 games. So, but 30 minutes every week before the games, I'll jump on at noon right after the injury reports come out, take your questions, help you out. And don't be afraid to yell at me when I get the calls wrong because I want to get better. So, Luke, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Good luck for the season pot. Appreciate the donation. But for the 49er fans that are here, let's go. Let's get this win. And I'll be back on the channel right after the game for post-game immediately with, it looks like Javi Vega and Jordan Splash Cousin Elliott of Niners Nation. So we should have a good time after the game as long as the 49ers take business. So for Jay, I'm out of here, man. Welcome, everybody. Let's go Niners. My name is Jason Aponte.